Hello. Welcome to this episode of the Confidence Alchemist radio show with me, your host, Keith Blakemore Noble, the Confidence Alchemist himself, helping you transform your deepest fears and phobias into your greatest strengths. And we're on a whole new platform this time, so it's all new, it's all exciting. Fingers crossed, everything is going to work out absolutely perfectly. The folks at the Coach on Fire radio network have done an absolutely stunning job of finding us a lovely new platform. This whole lot should work a lot better than it ever did before, which means it's going to be so much easier for you to access all of the shows, all of my shows, and all of the other shows by all the many other fantastic radio hosts that we've got as part of the Coach on Fire radio network. So let's get down to it. As I said, my name is Keith Blakemore Noble. This is the Confidence Alchemist radio show. You can find out more about the Confidence Alchemist and how I help people transform their deepest fears and phobias into their greatest strengths. It's by going to theconfidencealchemist.com. Pop along there after the show, not now. Pop along there, you'll find out a whole lot more resources. You'll find the page all about the show as well. You can also find out a lot more about the Coach on Fire radio network by going to www.spreaker.com/user/Coach on Fire Radio, or you can also access that link from the Confidence Alchemist radio show on the Confidence Alchemist website. Anyway, it's time for us to get started. So today's episode, it's just you and me, dear listener, just you and me. No guests this week. The way I'm running these things is it's kind of generally. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a message coming up from my producer, who's just asked me if we started the show, which is not necessarily a good thing to be hearing. Hopefully they're just not quite tuned in. But anyway, let's continue. You and I, dear listener, let us continue. So yes, I was saying the way that the Confidence Alchemist radio show tends to work is three or four shows in a row. I'm going to be bringing on interesting and unusual guests who all have a lot to share around confidence, their take on confidence. We're going to start steering it a little bit more towards looking at confidence from the perspective of people in the performing arts, singers, actors, people on stage speaking, that kind of confidence. And the great thing about all of this is it works cross-contextually. So even if that's not you, you will still get a whole lot out of it, because a lot of this confidence stuff works across all the different contexts. So anyway, every three shows, I'm going to be bringing on guests, and about every fourth show, it's going to be a little bit more intimate. It's just going to be you and me, dear listener, and I'm going to be sharing some stuff, teaching things, sharing some exciting and interesting insights into confidence, the background to it. Maybe sometimes we'll actually go through some processes to help you change and develop things. Sounds cool? I certainly hope so. That's kind of how it's been going so far. It's sort of settled down into that pattern quite neatly. And today's one is exactly one of those. Today is just you and me. And we're going to be taking an exploration of what confidence is for those in the performing arts. I said it's for the performing arts. Of course, this is applicable to any area of confidence as well. So do stay tuned, whether you're in the performing arts or not. Why am I talking particularly about the performing arts? Well, they say you should talk about what you know, which is a good thing to do, right? You don't want to be talking about stuff that you don't know. But my own personal journey to confidence is kind of, there's a lot of the performing arts in it. It's something that I've always been interested in. When I was young, so I just got a lyric jumping into my head there. When I was younger, so much younger than today, from Help by the Beatles. I must confess that is a terrible affliction I seem to have. I go through phases where just about everything brings up a song lyric to mind. So if I end up bursting into song about these things, I do apologise in advance. But anyway, as I was saying, when I was young, I wanted to be either an actor or a singer. Now, the only trouble was I was painfully shy. Really, really shy. And I've spoken about some of that in a previous episode. But it's relevant here, so I'm not going to go into all the details about that. But the relevance of that here is I had to kind of put those dreams not so much on hold. I had to kind of abandon those dreams, the dreams of being a singer or an actor on stage and so on. I had to put those, totally abandon those dreams because, hey, I was so shy I couldn't make conversation with strangers, all that sort of thing. How on earth could I ever do that? School came along, they had the inevitable school plays. We used to do plays occasionally in English lessons. Fantastic, really good. That was all right. Thoroughly loved doing those. They had the inevitable school plays once a year. They put on a big production. I always wanted to audition and go in for it, but I was always just far too shy to even go to the audition, let alone to actually get a part in it. And I mean, you know what it's. Hopefully you don't know, but perhaps you do know what it's like to be so soul crushingly awful, where you have this dream, this thing you really want to do, but you just see no way at all in which you could ever achieve it. You would love to do it. You see others doing it, thoroughly enjoying it. That's what you want to do. You feel that that's kind of like what you were born to do, right? But you just have this thing holding you back. In my case, it was severe shyness, severe lack of confidence, social anxiety, all those things all bundling together. Great fun. But you've got this thing that kind of holds you back, and it gets to the point where you're not just holding back on your dreams, you're actually just abandoning that dream forever. It's gone. There's no way it could ever happen, right? And that was me. That was me when I was younger. So I went off into IT because computers were good fun. Great thing about computers is you don't have to speak with people when you're working with a computer. Nice. So I ended up with my career in IT. All went well. And then I had my moment where I decided enough was enough. And again, I've talked about that before. It's the whole thing about the party and ended up having a panic attack and running. You know the one. But studied and looked into all of these mind sciences, became a master practitioner and ultimately now a teacher of NLP, hypnosis, all these mind sciences. Freedom technology is basically how I'm developing, packaging, bringing all of these things together, all the bits that work, bringing it into freedom technology. I studied all of that to cure myself, fix myself, however you want to call it, to conquer that shyness, which was cool. I was able to speak with people and all that sort of thing. I'd forgotten my dream of performing. And the only thing that stopped me from pursuing that dream was my shyness. That shyness and lack of confidence had gone, but I'd forgotten all about that dream. Isn't that horrible when you have a dream and you forget about it? You've allowed life to crush that dream and let you totally forget about it. You know what that feels like, right? It is awful, isn't it? Exactly. That's where I was. So I was kind of bumbling along, doing my stuff and thinking, great, this is what I want to do. And I kind of stumbled into doing a pantomime. Now, for anybody who's in the UK, you're going to know what pantomime is. For anybody not in the UK, oh my word, how do you describe pantomime? It is a form of theatre. It's traditionally done at Christmas. It's aimed at children, but also aimed at adults. There's lots of silliness in it. It's actually very, very, very good fun. Lots of being over the top in it. It's very, very hard to write. The reason being, a very well-written pantomime will have jokes which work on different levels. They work on a very beautiful, innocent level for the child, and they can work on a, let's say, more risque level for the adult. The same joke, the same words, the adults and the children are both laughing at effectively two totally different jokes. It's really, really, really good stuff. It's a great way for children to get introduced into going to theatre. And also a great way for children to get introduced to being in theatre when they appear in panto. But anyway, I kind of stumbled into being in a pantomime just as chorus, so I didn't have any major role or anything, but it was great fun, and that kind of reminded me, hang on a minute, this is what I wanted to do. I'd always wanted to be on stage, and now here I am. I've done it. And so I thought, well, okay, that's all well and good, over and done with. But the bug was there, and once your dream has had that chance to go, hello, it's me, remember me? It's there. You shouldn't ignore your dreams, right? Because when you ignore them, oof, it's horrible. So I've now ended up working in local theatre. I've been in numerous productions in different parts of the country, in London, in Reading, up in Scotland. Been in several different productions, even sung and danced on stage. That is why I'm working a lot more with people in the performing arts, because we just connect so well. I'm currently working with a lady who is filming a reality TV program, it's kind of a cross between reality TV and game show sort of thing. I can't really say much at the moment. When it comes out next year, you can bet I'll be talking about it. But I've been working with her on her confidence to help her have the confidence to really be her in the show. And we just hit it off so well. It's just I absolutely love working with people in that arena, and that's why, as I mentioned at the start of the show, the Confidence Alchemist is going to be gradually moving more towards that, looking at that side of things. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be applicable to everyone else. It just means that the kind of stories we're going to be talking about are going to be more from the performing arts side of things. But that's why, because it's when you've got your passion, and you should really. I mean, they always tell us, go with your passion. That's what I'm doing. Not only indulging in it in local theatre, and I have plans beyond that. I have to say, part of what I do is stage hypnosis and card magic shows, which I do as a sideline for the fun of it. But I have plans integrating that with the greater bulk of the work I do. So stay tuned. Watch this space, as they say. But anyway, enough of that. That's why I'm focusing this one around at the performing arts, because it just brings me to life so much, and I absolutely love helping other people who are in similar sort of thing. They're kind of shy, maybe they're doing okay, but they've got something like, I don't know, maybe audition anxiety or stage fright or performance anxiety, all those sorts of things. Helping them burst through all that stuff just makes such a difference. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this show. We're going to be looking at confidence, shyness. Why are some people shy? Why are some outgoing? Can we actually become confident? We're going to take a look at things like audition anxiety. Now, again, that applies directly to people in the performing arts, also applies in so many other areas. Audition anxiety, auditions, you can look at auditions as being a job interview. So even if you never appear on stage and have no interest in appearing on stage, I bet you'll have job interviews, right? Absolutely. Exactly the same thing, the same sorts of anxieties can be in there. Or even stage fright, performance anxiety, actually doing your job anxiety, all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're going to be looking at here. So I guess the first thing we should do is take a step back and have a look at why are some people shy and why are some people outgoing. Now, a lot of if you ask somebody who's shy, why are you shy? They are going to usually say, well, that's just who I am. I was born this way. If you ask someone who is very outgoing, why are you outgoing? I was born this way, right? The reality is none of us are born shy. None of us are born lacking in confidence. As anybody who's ever had to look after young babies will tell you, they are not scared of anything. They're not shy. They don't lack confidence. They will. As soon as they can crawl, they're crawling over anything. As soon as they can reach stuff, they're trying to cram the whole world into their mouth. When they can walk a bit, they'll walk into all sorts of dangerous situations. We are not born shy. Instead, we are conditioned into being scared, and with good reason, because the world is a scary place. the world can be a very, very dangerous place. There are